the Buffalo Police Department for their exceptional work in handling this situation. And also, I want to thank the New York State Police, who have been embedded from the very beginning. The state police role is supportive here locally, but also it is a prime role working with the FBI to secure the home of the individual, which is out of this region from the southern tier, and amass as much evidence as is humanly possible in the very near term. It's hard to know what to say. This is my community. I know this community well. I've walked these streets. I know the individuals who live here. It's a wonderful, tight-knit neighborhood. And to see that sense of security shattered by an individual, a white supremacist who has engaged in an act of terrorism and will be prosecuted as such, in a cold-hearted, cruel, calculating way. A military-style execution targeting people who simply want to buy groceries in a neighborhood store. It strikes us in our very hearts to know that there's such evil that lurks out there. Yes, I'm here to console the families in a community that is feeling so much pain right now. But mark my words, we'll be aggressive in our pursuit of anyone who subscribes to the ideals professed by other white supremacists, and how there's a feeding frenzy on social media platforms where hate festers more hate. That has to stop. These outlets must be more vigilant in monitoring social media content. And certainly the fact that this act of barbarism, this execution of innocent human beings, could be live streamed on social media platforms and not taken down within a second, says to me that there is a responsibility out there, and we're going to continue to work on this and make sure that those who provide these platforms have a moral and ethical, and I hope to have a legal responsibility to ensure that such hate cannot populate these sites. Because this is the result when you have individuals who use these platforms and talk to others who share these demented views and support each other and talk about the techniques that they'll engage in and post these ideas and share them with others in the hope that they can all someday rise up in their demented view of the world. That's what white supremacist terrorism is all about. That's what we witnessed here today on the streets of Buffalo, New York. And it has to end right here. And that is our message. We will continue to work at the federal, state, and local level with our community partners to help identify these messages as soon as they arise on social media. That is our best defense right now, as well as the legal system and the prosecution. And it is my sincere hope that this individual, this white supremacist who just perpetrated a hate crime on an innocent community, will spend the rest of his days behind bars. And heaven help him in the next world as well. Yeah, I'm angry. I've seen violence from guns on the Brooklyn subway, and now in the streets of Buffalo. It has to stop. It has to stop. On Tuesday in Albany, we had already planned to be announcing a comprehensive gun package to address further loopholes that exist in our laws. We are doing everything we can to ensure that our laws are tight, they're ironclad, to ensure that our law enforcement have the resources they need. That is why I started a gun interdiction task force last January. 9 states, as well as NYPD, have teamed up with us to make sure that we can identify when guns are coming across the border from places like Pennsylvania gun shows and end up in small communities outside Binghamton or in Broome County. We don't know that that is the source of the modifications made to a gun, but we're going to find out. We're going to continue addressing this every single way we can. As an aside, we're also going to be preparing our state for what could be a Supreme Court decision that allows people to carry concealed weapons. We're ready. This is New York. We're here to protect our people. Thank you. Any questions?
You mentioned that the suspect was from the southern tier. Can you tell us where in the southern tier he is from?
I know that law enforcement is securing the home right now and getting search warrants, so I'm not going to disclose the location at this time, but we know where.
Can you tell us the county?
Broome County.
Broome County.
There have been social media posts from others who are claiming to be involved in this. Any concern that the suspect who is in custody is the only one, and any concern in general about other people trying to take credit for this tragedy?
That is something that always law enforcement has to be aware of in the aftermath. It is not uncommon that there be people who try to take credit or there be copycat situations, but all these leads are being run down and investigated, and there's no confirmation at this time. Anyone law enforcement different?
I think you do.
Wegmans closed their doors for the rest of the evening. What's your message to people that just need to go grocery shopping, just need to continue living?
And they will, but let us take this moment to grieve. There's a community out there that has had their hearts ripped open. All of us suffer with them. There's families that are still finding out that their loved one is not coming home to dinner tonight. People can get their groceries tomorrow.
Governor, there were, you talk about the social media concern that you all share, yet there were social media concerns for this individual prior to today. It's my understanding he had stuff online and on social media. I mean, do you have concerns that that wasn't flagged?
That's what I want to find out. Exactly. And the social media platforms that profit from their existence need to be responsible for monitoring and having surveillance, knowing that they can be, in a sense, an accomplice to a crime like this. Perhaps not legally, but morally. They've created the platform to allow this hate to be spewed, and others who are like-minded or could be radicalized. People who may not have intended to go down the path, but they read this. It's pervasive. It's among the big lies that are out there. And we know how insidious it is. We've seen the effects. But particularly the act of live streaming this, the fact that that can even be hosted on a platform is absolutely shocking. And we need to find out what happened and how to make sure it doesn't happen again.
But do you think his social media footprint should have been noticed by law enforcement prior to this?
Absolutely, these should be monitored by everyone involved. The platform and law enforcement monitors literally millions of posts in search of information like this, and this is all part of the inquiry.